Nick Wright joins us, co-host, Fox. First things first. Hi, Nick.
What are you talking about, Dan?
Just talking about my jumper.
No, and I know it's your favorite topic, but at some point, reality's got to set in. I mean, Jim Paxson hit a jumper to win a championship.
No.
And you
no,
just
no,
said...
No.
Oh, John Paxson.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about John Paxson. Okay. All right. Jim Paxson, you know what, is out of my purview.
Okay.
I think the caller would be more interested in John Paxson, to be totally honest with you. Jim Paxson. Okay, you know what? I started off on a bad foot. I thought we were talking about John Paxson. I realized it as I said it. Saw a little twinkle in your eye. You're like, oh, I got Nick in the jackpot.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Because you're an NBA historian, and I just...
Historian.
Yeah.
That is true.
Okay.
It's a bad job by me.
Yeah.
But you also did just say you like to be more like Klay Thompson, who might have the prettiest jump shot in NBA history.
Thank you.
No, that's not a no.
Oh.
What do you mean, thank you? Well, I was saying Klay Thompson might have that.
All right.
Not you have that.
Okay. If you're going by just looks of jumpers, just the cosmetics of this, you put...
Reggie Miller's in last place. Sorry. I know that's your guy. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Ray Allen, Clay, Steph.
I don't put Steph there.
You don't think
I don't
that's
think Steph's jump. I don't think like his form and release are as pretty as Clay or Ray Allen. And I'm trying to find other guys. I think Steph is just the best. You know what? It's just the best jump shot ever. But as far as like when you watch it and you're like, oh, that is picture perfect, like King Griffey Jr. swing. Ray Allen and Clay are the two guys that come to mind ahead of everyone else.
I think Steph has to shoot that way to get his shot off. He does have to take different angles. Clay is a catch and shoot. Ray became a catch and shoot. Steph is not a catch and shoot player yet, but he might emulate his father later in his career.
Well, yeah, I was going to say Dell kind of had a prettier jumper than Steph. And again, I'm not Draymond Green. I'm not taking shots at Steph Curry. That's not my place right now. I think it makes it more remarkable what he's able to do, but also because of the different angles and because of his size, he can't do it as traditionally as some other guys would. But this isn't what you wanted to talk to me about, so go ahead.
Is everything okay with you and Draymond Green? That he called you out, called you Nicky? Give us a summary of why Draymond Green has a problem with you.
Well, because Draymond Green's true passion is media criticism, not basketball discussion. And Draymond, let's be very clear here on what's happening with Draymond Green. Draymond Green does not see the obvious hypocrisy in his opinion that if you didn't play in the NBA, you shouldn't have a seat at the table at discussing or criticizing or critiquing NBA players. However, if you have no training whatsoever in journalism, commentary, or media, you of course are able to criticize professionally trained journalists, commentators, and media. And by the way, I think athletes turned commentators is a great thing. I am not trying to exclude anyone from the group. I think there's an obvious hypocrisy in those trying to exclude others, not wanting that same exclusion to happen to them. But the other thing is this, like Draymond he's running out of content. And so, listen, we talked about my Andrew Wiggins thing. He had a lot of my Andrew Wiggins stuff wrong. They're saying that I need to, own up to the opinion. I tweeted out the Andrew Wiggins take the moment the Warriors beat the Mavs. I'm the one that put it back into the ether, but that's fine. But that got him some traction. People are like, oh, yeah, kill Nick on Andrew Wiggins. So he does it right after they win the championship. And then he goes on a little 10-day break. And the next podcast, and it's like, oh, boy. This time of year, the sports commentary game's a little tough. So no games going on, no sports, no stories. So let's just run it back. But then Skip was on vacation, Stephen A's on vacation, and all of a sudden it's like, oh boy, you know what? What if I run that same Nick, almost word for word, the same Nick Wright opinion, but I'll call him Nicholas. Woohoo! Oh, that'll get him. That'll get him. And so, listen, I get it. New media. And so, they're coming for all of us. But I'm excited to see what the next chapter is.
We're talking to Nick Wright. He is a co-host of First Things First. You don't take time off like Skip and Stephen A. You guys are always there grinding.
Well, no, I'm going to take time off here and skip Stephen. And by the way, don't take time off like Skip or Stephen A. or Dan Patrick, you know what I mean, who I believe is about to go on quite the vacation. No, but I'm going to take time off just later. I'm going to take some time off in July and August. And so, but not right now. Right now, with NBA free agency, I need to be on the air. I need to be discussing the Knicks giving Jalen Brunson $110 million.
But I did wonder, though, I wonder what Luka thinks about this. That it feels like he can't afford to lose players like this. Now, Mark Cuban can afford maybe that, they don't want to spend that money. But if you're Luka, are you closer or further away?
Listen, I think that, and the Mavs are smart. I think they go to Luka and they say, listen, let me show you what happened with Anthony Davis. He was great at a young age. So the team overreacted, traded a lot of its future for a good but not great at the time player, Drew Holiday, gave him a defined ceiling. LeBron James, great at an early age. Team then tied, said, Mo Williams, come on down. If you're good, if you're so great, sometimes what hurts you is we feel like we have to microwave it and we get a second player who is not a true difference maker, pay him like he is, and we're locked into the team. We've got, a 10-year plan for you. And by the way, we went out and got Christian Wood. Tim Hardaway Jr. is coming back. So we're not going to be worse. But what we're not going to do is make it so our big two is you and Jalen Brunson. We want the secondary player to be better than Jalen Brunson is. I think Luka's smart, and I think he would understand that. Or else you get in a bit of a situation, Dan, the Hawks found themselves in. The Hawks tricked themselves a bit by believing that conference title run was who they were, and they locked everybody up. And then this year is maybe more realistic to who they were. And they're like, oh, we're not even close to good enough. And now what do you got to do? You trade 3 drafts unprotected and I like DeJounte Murray a lot. I think he will really help them. But now they're all in. That's their team now. It's going to be Trey, DeJounte, you know what I mean? And their other pieces. Like that's going to be for the bulk of the next 5 years who the Hawks have. They have no flexibility. I like teams that have the flexibility for if and when Dame says, I'm sick of this. If and when somebody who's a real difference maker asks out.
Better move, the Lakers didn't get Kyrie or the Clippers got John Wall?
Oh, I think I wish the Lakers had gotten Kyrie. Kyrie and LeBron work. Flatly, it works. So I think it's a bad move that they didn't get Kyrie.
Okay.
And I am the John Wall thing I'm not against. I think anyone acting like they know that the John Wall thing is going to work is being disingenuous. But I also think anyone acting like they know that he's cooked is being disingenuous. He was on the shelf last year, not for injury, but because the Rockets just wouldn't play him. And we saw Al Horford that happened with him in OKC. And then that actually did his body good. He was good for the Celtics. I think Clippers are going to be really good. And I think anything they get out of Wall is a bonus.
I was just, Kyrie going back to the Nets, I think people are like, yeah, let's move on to the next story. I'm like, no, this is still a story. This is fluid.
Yeah.
Because if I'm KD, I don't know what I got here. And at what point do the Nets know, hey, he's going to play for that next contract? Are we going to trade him? It just feels like...
What do you think's more likely? More likely than not, Kyrie finishes the season with the Nets. Even money bet, you can take yes or no.
I would never bet on him to do what is logical. Like when he said, whatever, great people or different people, and we change the world, and then he opts in. Like he didn't do anything daring. Like, dude.
That was the greatest tweet. They're like, those who dare to be different change the world.
Yeah.
And by daring to be different, I'm doing the most basic thing imaginable. No, listen, Kyrie's a different cat. Obviously, But I agree with you. The story's not over. I think there are a lot of interesting pieces of it. One, that the Nets offered him longer term contract. He didn't take. Two, that the Shams reported, well, not Shams reported. He told Shams he was opting in, not telling the Nets. Three, Wendy reported that Sean Marks had the okay from Joe Tsai, even if it meant losing Durant rather than give Kyrie the max. All of those things lead me to believe that Kyrie is on his last strike, and now that he opted in, he has no leverage. They can send him anywhere. So I think that he's got to be on his, best behavior, and that includes no sabbaticals, no paid time off. Like, I don't know. He's not a reliable guy.
I'm guessing that he'll be traded. I don't think he ends the season unless they're playing so well and there is chemistry, and that it feels like they're just waiting for KD to give the sign. Like, you know what? Go ahead. Because KD's in there for 4 years. It doesn't feel like they're going to ship KD if they trade Kyrie.
No, and KD's excellent. I mean, and KD doesn't want to leave. And the other thing is this. Check the Nets roster. Something will jump out to you. They don't have any forwards but Durant. They have few centers, a bunch of guards, and Durant is the only guy on the roster listed as a forward, small or power. The reason I mention that is this. Even if Kyrie were on his best behavior, one could argue that trading him for some wing depth, Durant tweeted during the draft, it's a wings league. Yeah. And I think that was about the players being drafted. But it also was an interesting comment on his team that has no wings other than him. It's got small guards and shooters, and then Claxton and, bigs. And so I think there is an argument to be made, even if Kyrie doesn't do anything, that the Nets might look at it and say, even with Ben Simmons, we have plenty of shooting. What we need is more wing defenders out there, and maybe Kyrie can get us some of those.
And I misspoke yesterday because I thought, Ben Simmons is going to be healthy, but I don't know mentally, physically. He went through back surgery and is not going to be available this summer until, I guess, training camp at the earliest here. So factor that in. He's not going to play in the summer league. He's not going to have any run.
The whole thing's not great, which is, by the way, did you see the Vegas odds on this? The Vegas odds on the Nets have been more skewed than any team I can ever remember seeing. They are the favorites in the East. They have better odds than Milwaukee does. I don't get that at all.
Or Boston.
I just flatly don't understand.
Yeah. The Celtics. I mean, why would they have better odds than the Celtics?
The public loves them. I don't know. It makes no sense to me.
Great to talk to you as always.
You too. Was my internet connection screwed up here at the end?
No, you're good.
Did I mess something up for you?
No,
I'm good. Oh, okay. I was worried about that. Okay, you enjoy your vacation. I've got something that I'm sending to you, Dan, but you're not going to be there to receive it. And now I find out no one's going to be there to sign for it. So I got a big problem that I got to take care of, that I might need to hit Fritzy offline on. I might need one of your guys to sign for something.
What?
So I'm just letting you know.
You want to give me an idea of what it is?
It's a token of my appreciation of our friendship, and you and the crew can share it. That's what I will tell you.
Is it something that if we wait a week, then it might spoil?
It's something I would prefer not to be left out in the sun for a week. Yeah, that is true. And so, yeah, but I didn't time this right, and, shipping delays and, infrastructure plans, and I don't know.
Why don't you wait until we're back and then send it?
It's en route is the problem.
Do you want me to give up my vacation, not go on vacation, just to get the gift that you're going to send me?
No, but I might want someone to hang out at your studio tomorrow for a few hours to sign for a package.
All right. But you don't owe me anything. You don't.
I don't know. No. It's a token of my appreciation of our friendship. Okay. That's all.
Okay.
That's all it is. Okay.
How much is it worth?
I don't know.
Is it more than my token of appreciation of our friendship?
No. No, I don't know. Listen, man, I didn't want to, we can talk about that or not. That's up to you. No, it is not. But it's worth more than I would like to go to waste.
Okay.
It's worth enough that if you won it at a casino, you'd have to fill out a form.
Okay.
How about that?
I wanted to make sure that I showed my appreciation for Nick, so I bought him a watch.
Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know if we could talk about this on the air.
No,
Dan. I didn't know. I didn't know. Dan bought me a Breitling. I'm wearing it right now. Dan made fun of me for wearing a fake watch on television.
I did. And
then told my wife he would buy her a real one, even though she owns one, in a very uncomfortable moment. And then talked about it all on the air.
Yeah.
And then
I felt bad.
Sent me on Father's Day a package that just said, "Who's your daddy?" And it was a Breitling. It's a true story.
I know.
And now I'm like, God, dog it. Now I got to get him something.
You didn't. No. It was so great to just send that and have you open it up with no name attached to it. Just said, "Happy Father's
just
Day."
said, "Who's your daddy?"
Who's your daddy?
Yeah. And then I called him and said, "What are you doing?" And do you know what he said, America? "What ballers do." That's what he said. You're like 70 years old.
I know.
Like, what do you why do you talk like this? It was such a flex. And so, yeah. So I sent something back.
Right.
Have a good 4th, buddy.
Hey, my best to the family.
Oh, the kids too?
Yeah, the kids too.
Good. All right. I'll see you later.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Nick. That's Nick Wright. Let's take a break. When we come back, did you have an I-Team report there, Paulie?
Well, a lot of people are asking, does Nick Wright have a ponytail or a man bun going on? Because they couldn't tell with his hair situation. It's getting longer, but it looked like it was in some type of bun.
Oh, I don't think he's a bun.
I don't want, as a journalist, I don't want to accuse anybody.
I think it was more mullet than bun.
Okay.